I'm gonna give it to you straight. Okay, I'm not gonna hold your hand, but I'm gonna give you a little kiss on the forehead, because people love to say, what's a positive trait of yours, characteristic of yours? It's like, I'm a disciplined person, I have discipline, da 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 da. Discipline is a choice. It is not a trait. Being disciplined can mean different things for different people, but at the end of the day, having discipline is a choice. Every time you don't want to get up and do whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing, that is a choice. Don't come for me when we want to talk about like ADHD paralysis. Your girl's autistic and got ADHD, right? So I understand that there needs to be a balance. Easier said than done. Setting yourself up for success, to be able to get yourself up out of bed, to be able to get yourself out, put yourself out there, sign up for classes, put yourself in new environments, get to know new people, or go to the gym, take care of your body, keep your house clean. Whatever it is a choice. And that choice starts from the smallest things. They build on each other. So when it comes to someone who has depression, all these things, I'm not disregarding any of that, because I know how it can affect you. I know. When you eat the right foods, when you take care of your body, when you invest in yourself and your mental health, researching what is actually good for you, paying attention and making these things a priority in your life, inevitably, this starts to affect your mental health, because your gut health is everything, right? Your gut health affects your mental health. Once you start feeling your body from the inside out, it makes you more energetic to actually go outside, go to the gym, want to take care of yourself, continue to invest in yourself. It gives you energy to get up out of bed. A lot of the times we disregard how every little choice affects this quote unquote discipline that we either have or don't have. And it starts from the root of everything. And that is how you take care of yourself. Are there days where you just need to fucking do nothing and just brain rot on the couch all day and just take a moment or a few days to relax and just let yourself chill because you're just always on the go, go, go? You're always working? Yes. It's hard for me to just talk about this in one way, because this message would be different for people who are like go-getters to the point where you burn yourself out so much because you're always working, you're always on the go. And then there's a group of people who aren't, who are the opposite, who have a hard time putting in the work, who have a hard time in going after the things that they want, right? So it's different for everybody, but at the end of the day, having discipline and being on top of yourself is a choice. You see, like for me, for instance, a lot of my discipline has to come with my mental health, my mental choices, the way I let my mind spiral. I have a really overactive mind. My mind moves at 1,000,000 miles per hour. And sometimes I hyperfixate on things so much. I anxiously think about something so much, it like drives me into the ground. I start to think of all the details, how things could go wrong, and I start becoming really pessimistic or becoming really anxious. That can kind of take me down for a few days. But the thing is, I know that I'm doing this to myself. Look at things in a negative way. I know that I'm choosing to continue to spiral, but I just am letting myself do that. Is that a trait that I have that honestly I can't change because that's how my brain has always been? Yes, but I know that I do have a choice, because sometimes my mind will go, and I go, you know what? I'm gonna let this go. I'm not gonna let it stress me. I'm gonna let it play out how it is. I'm gonna do something to get my mind off it. I'm gonna go for a walk. These kind of choices also you can put under the umbrella term of discipline, to not let yourself make up stories that literally drive you into the ground, And like I said, don't take me wrong. I'm not saying that there aren't mental health things or autoimmune disorders or things that really can affect the way that you get up, right? That you get out of bed, that you have the energy to do things hard, because we live in a place where we're not educated on the right things, right? There's so much misinformation on foods, ingredients, especially with this diet culture where everyone wants to eat all these fake ingredients and think that, oh, it's not a big deal, but it is a fucking big deal when you overdo it. Could be sitting there and you have like ADHD paralysis and you're on TikTok for hours and hours and hours. I know that paralysis, but I also know that I do have a choice to be like, you know what, bitch, put your phone down and get the fuck up, because eventually I do get there and I do it. It's just I just am ignoring it because I'd rather sit here and do this instead, because of this perceived anxiety that I have of whatever it is that I have to do, the to-do list that I have, and it makes me anxious. So I'd rather sit here in paralysis. So I procrastinate, my to-do list gets pushed to the next day. When it comes to things like that, when you're not like genuinely sick, physically like sick, can't get up, right? I've started moving through my days, having like a to-do list. And in this to-do list, I just set like a few things that I want to do, and as the day goes on, it brings me so much joy when I'm able to tackle them and erase them from my to-do list. It like just fuels my soul. It makes me feel so good and accomplished. And the more you start to do that, the more it starts to become, I don't want to say addicting, but in a way. And this is a hard lesson. It's probably one of the hardest lessons, because you have to find this balance of like knowing when to rest, knowing when to go, knowing when to let yourself rot, versus knowing when to really call yourself out when you need to be on top of your shit. For so long, I was living in this like negativity in my mind where like nothing's working out, nothing's even worth it, da 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 da, right? But then I'd sit here and I'd be like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna fucking think like that. I don't have to think like this. I don't have to be so ungrateful for what I already have. I can choose to look at what I have. I can choose to already be grateful that I am so blessed in whatever way that means for me. And just because I don't have the answers doesn't mean that I have to feel resentment. And making that switch in my mind already shifted so much, because now you're ready to go on about your day and tackle shit and move forward and move forward and move forward. And it gives you this energy. It gives you like this pep in your step. It takes practice. It takes a lot of talking to yourself. When you set yourself up for success by investing in yourself, by treating your body and your space like a temple, because that is what you deserve. You deserve the best of the best, and you know that. That sets you up for you to be strong enough to have the discipline to say, I'm gonna continue to invest in myself in every way. You understand that you are more than capable, and you understand, again, that it's a choice and that you make that choice for yourself. You don't have to burn yourself out and be like, I'm gonna do a million things today. It's not that. Having balance, knowing what's the right amount of work for you, knowing what's the right amount of rest for you, of fun. You can tell yourself, oh, I'm not disciplined enough to like go to the gym on a regular schedule. I'm not disciplined enough to like da da da. That's fucking bullshit. You are disciplined enough. You can be disciplined enough. That has nothing to do with your personality trait. It's how you treat yourself, and it's the choices that you make. And it's how you catch the thoughts that come into your mind that try to tell you that you are not disciplined enough. Because that is bullshit. That is why I'm such a big fan of meditation, because what meditation is, a lot of people think is that you sit there and you just like, it has to be silent. Sometimes when you reach that state, it's like a nirvana type of thing. It's nice. It's nice for an overthinker when you're meditating and there's no thoughts. That shit's nice. But most of the times it's not. With meditation, you sit there. It's the act of you seeing those thoughts. It's the act of you separating yourself from those thoughts, seeing the thoughts come, letting them go. Come, letting them go. Like you're watching cars pass by. And eventually, you become so aware that you are not your thoughts. You become so aware that you are completely detached from these thoughts. You are the consciousness that is aware of these thoughts that are coming and going. And that is why you have the control. It's not always going to be like that. It's not always going to be easy, right? Your body catches up to you sometimes. Even if you fall, you're capable of catching yourself, starting over, not even starting over, and just keep going. But detaching from your thoughts, detaching from your mind, and detaching from these stories and telling yourself that you're not disciplined, and choosing to push those thoughts to the side, just like when you do when you're meditating, and choose another route, you're going to start creating a whole new reality for yourself. That's all I want to say.